Hey everyone, just want to do a quick video here. I have a nice discussion in regards to something that happened to come across on the social media world. So let's take a quick drive. Hi everyone. As I mentioned before, um, just recently there was an incident that happened on one of the social media pages where a 107 operator was conducting business and was approached by a very concerned property owner, claiming that he was flying over the property itself. I won't go too much into the details into this type of situation, but I am sure a lot of you all out there have encountered this type of incident at one point or another, being into drones and flying commercially. But what struck me the most is this particular operator noted that yes, he was legal to fly and he's being paid and he is licensed and all that. But at the same time, he said that he was armed. Now, that raised a big concern for me, and particularly in a red flag. Not only from this incident, but from the past, I would say 6 months, I've been seeing a lot of thread posts on other forums talking about this very subject, about arming themselves, doing shall we say, a confrontation with a property owner in regards to going into their property. And what strikes me the worst is I could understand where everyone is concerned about the property owner may be armed with a shotgun trying to shoot down your drone, your very expensive drone, and you're trying to conduct business, whatever reason it may be. But as an operator, we should have more restraint. We should be more responsible. We should understand that what's the type of concern that these property owners have. Believe it or not, this is just my perspective. A lot of people out there, or shall we say analysts, and reading from the drone specific news agencies, they start saying that, drones are getting widely accepted, which it is, by firefighters and first responders, but the general public still have a fear in regards to drones. And for an operator just to blatantly say, I am armed, that becomes a challenge for the property owner, and it's a threat. It's a threat to their life, or shall we say, into this discussion. So I'm not going to judge the operator for acting unwisely, but in my perspective, you're not you're not de-escalating the situation at all. You're actually escalating it to a point to where this person can go back to law enforcement and actually say, I have this person flying over my property and he said he's licensed, but at the same breath he threatened me with a firearm, that he is armed. Instead of talking in a very mature and professional manner to deal with the situation and try to de-escalate it, this operator just took it to the next level. And again, I am for the Second Amendment, and I'm a strong proponent of the Second Amendment, but at the same time, I'm a strong proponent for drone use in the commercial and also in the recreational. But we have to step up, be a bigger person, to understand what these people's concerns are. There are a lot of fears. The fears still exist out in the public. Just a bit of background. Back in the winter, or shall we say in the Christmas period in 2015, the media, local news agencies have gone to the airwaves, talk about the hot product for Christmas, which are drones. In fact, this year, in Christmas alone, there was again, a push for drones as being a hot seller, but not to a point to where it should scare people, but it already instilled in their mind, the public's mind, about drones themselves. They don't care what you're using it for. They care about their privacy. And the class I teach, which is called Drones, an introduction to a modern phenomenon, is catered to ease the fear for people out in the public. And it's been very successful, and is still successful today. And beyond from what people think when I conduct these drone awareness courses, most of the attendees are not kids or teenagers. Most of them are senior citizens, matured individuals, and families would show up and express their concern. They sit and listen to what I have to present. At the same time, I am trying to convey what's the reality on what's going on with drones out there. And I suggest to them some way to, shall we say, deal with how to confront people that are operators, just to make sure that they're not invading their privacy. So overall, the response that I get after the course itself, very, very positive. They understand what the laws are, the local and state and city local ordinances, what are the laws are, what they can use to identify or advise the operator that they're in violation of some civil code or ordinance for that matter. So, but on the operator side, we should be responsible on our own actions, what we do out in the public. And it just confuses me, and it just worries me that this is still a continuing issue. Reading from forums and social media about, I have to carry a gun because I am worried about my safety, which is absolutely valid. If you're a CCW holder, you have every right to protect yourself. But the person that is very upset about their invasion of potential invasion of privacy into their property, they have every right to be concerned too. But there's no way you should bring a firearm into discussion. Absolutely no way. That is very irresponsible for even a CCW holder. We really need to step up our game and really de-escalate the situation as opposed to escalating it to a point to where the operator will get in trouble, irregardless. I am not, just to let you know, I am not in law enforcement. But if I was, and I happen to hear that from a property owner, even though you're valid to fly over there, the moment that you mention that you have a CCW or you have a firearm to discussion, I will look down onto that CCW person as a very responsible firearm owner. Hands down. There's no room for that. There should be no discussion about it. So I just wanted to share that, and it's really upsetting that if we're going to continue this, the more the public are going to look at this at the wrong light. They are not going to respect or give credit for whatever drones or uses are. The next thing we know, they're just going to look at drones as being more of an annoyance. Then they're going to start focusing possibly on the first responder. Now this is an actual case. I'm not going to mention the police department that is local to me, that they've had a drone literally for a very long time, for over 5 years. In fact, from my understanding, it was a DJI S1000. And subsequently, the full intentions of that drone was for the bomb squad to do investigation, take a look at it, whatever it may be. They went up to the public. They made it an open forum, and they shall we say, asked permission to let them know that they were going to be using a unmanned aerial system for bomb threats, or shall we say, for the bomb squad. There was so much outcry that they took that aircraft and put it in a closet, and it's gathering dust. And that's the reality. This police department would have been one of our strongest advocate for drone use for first responders. And just because of the fear that the public has over privacy, has struck down a very expensive, shall we say, program. And I'm not going to go again. I'm not going to go too much in details into what agency this was, and the only thing I'll mention is they were flying a DJI S1000, and it's sitting in a closet with no purpose at this moment. So, again, the public, we are not done. We are not done on the acceptance stage of drone use in the public's perspective. And we should do our due diligence to make them understand. And for goodness sakes, I would even recommend create a program just like what I did. Unfortunately, I can't share it with you because these are proprietary information that I have gathered and researched. And again, I've been doing it since 2015 with huge success. And in fact, it led me into a local TV station being interviewed and being a national TV being broadcast, or shall we say regional TV. So again, this is just a quick snapshot. Hopefully this is some value to everyone out there. I'm going to carry on this conversation a little bit more in depth in the future. So please stay tuned and go ahead and place a comment with your thoughts on it, and I'll talk to you soon.